Before I gave my life to Christ, I lived a life pretty much with no rules at all. Not saying that I hurt anybody or did anything violent. My story isn't one of those. And I was justifying all of these bad actions because I was a creative. I thought just because I had these things going for me that I could get away with doing all these things that were not good for my spirit or my health. So when I gave my life to Christ, I've always been somebody that does everything to the extreme, to the max. So I became very legalistic. I started, reading everything that the Old Testament had to say and really putting it into practice and trying my best to please God in that way. In a way, I was trying to feel righteous by doing my actions. And I feel like this isn't even just me. I feel like a lot of young adults, especially when they first get saved, they get in and they're very pious, which is another word for, legalistic or very strict with the way that they handle themselves. My pastor actually told me a story when he was younger, that when he got saved, he was out there on fire, right? And he was telling people, oh, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. And of course, I'm not going to completely bash stuff like that. Jesus warned people about hell, and he was, for lack of a better term, a hellfire preacher. And for me, that looked like making reels, Instagram reels. It's funny to say, but making Instagram reels where I would tell people, oh, it's a sin to say OMG, oh my God. Is saying OMG, oh my God, a sin? Yes, this is a sin. In Exodus 27, it says, you must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. This was the third commandment given to Moses. What I realize, and the point I'm trying to make here, is that when you first get in and you're really on fire and you're, for lack of a better term, you're pious, you're very legalistic, you're strict, we have to remember to give people the same grace that God gives us when we're in our dark, sinful ways. God is patient, he's slow to anger, he's kind, and he's caring for us. And when we go around and we're out there condemning everybody, oh, don't do this, oh, don't do that, a lot of people feel pushed away. They feel rejected from the very people who are supposed to be accepting them. In 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 22, the Apostle Paul says, I have become all things to all people so that I might save some of them. And that's exactly what we should be trying to embody. It doesn't matter what other people think about me, what the other pious Christians think about me, what the other legalistic Christians think about me, and say, oh, he's hanging out with them and they're smoking and he's, or they're drinking. And at the end of the day, it's about having a connection with these people, because at the end of the day, if we're not the people that have a connection with them, they're not gonna get reached. From my understanding of the world, everybody wants that feeling of acceptance. And if they don't get it from you, they're gonna go ahead and turn to the world and turn to people who are just going to send them down an even darker path. All right, I'm parking this up so that we can read this. It's Ezekiel chapter 34, 4-6. It says, you have not taken care of the weak. You have not tended the sick or bound up the injured. You have not gone looking for those who have wandered away and are lost. Instead, you have ruled them with harshness and cruelty. So my sheep have been scattered without a shepherd, and they are easy prey for any wild animal. They have wandered through all the mountains and all the hills across the face of the earth, yet no one has gone to search for them. And this resonated with me so profoundly because there's such a clear image. For me, I'm huge into social dynamics and behavioral science, and a feeling of belonging is critical to humans. We want to feel like we have a place to belong. And when we, push people away saying, oh, you're not my type of person, you're not pious enough, you don't follow this and this rules, they're gonna go ahead and find people that accept them. And oftentimes, those are the people in the world who are running rampant with their sins and not even trying to change. That's why the Bible says that when we don't take care of the injured, they are easy prey for anybody. When we don't go and we don't take care of these people and show them love, they're going to get love from the devil who's in the world, and then they're easy prey to fall to their sins. So here's some traits that I wrote down that I think if you're a follower of Christ, you should want to embody. You should embody grace, kindness, humility, hard work, strength, generosity, fairness, justice, acceptance, integrity, leadership, and empathy. These are just a few that I wrote down. And in James chapter 2, verse 18, it states, "You have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my work." Of course, we're not saved by our works at all, but our works are a direct reflection of what we believe. So embody these strong traits, because people are going to be looking at you saying, oh, he said he's a Christian. He says he's this, he's that. He says he follows God. Let's see if his actions really mirror that. Be selfless, be kind, be generous, because in doing so, your actions can preach a far better sermon than you could have ever done telling people do this and do that. And also take the time to deeply try and understand their viewpoints and beliefs, because if we don't do that for other people, why would they ever care about what we have to say to them? Try not to judge them. All right, everybody's trying their best. Peace out. Have a good day. God bless.